In today's episode, we compare two brand new Fender custom shop guitars. One is a classic vintage 60s Strat, and one is a modern take on a 50s design. So without further ado, let's compare both these guitars and see which one is victorious. Hey guys, welcome back to Squealing Pig Guitars, the home of luxury shred machines here in Nottingham, England. It's the start of a new week, it's Monday, and we're starting it off with a bang with two amazing Fender custom shop guitars. Before I get into this comparison video, make sure to hit the like button if you're enjoying these videos, hit subscribe if you're new, and smash the notification bell to be notified when we make a new post. And of course, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. But let's get straight back into the video. So in today's video, we've got two amazing Fender custom shop guitars. These are brand new Fender custom shop guitars. The Fender custom shop is bringing out incredibly high-end guitars at the moment, and you can tell that they're really stepping up their production line, just like all the other brands. Obviously, prices are going up, so the quality of the instruments needs to be going up as well. So today we have a classic Dakota Red Strat. This is a 64 inspired Fender Stratocaster, and then we have a more modern take on a 50s design. So it's a 50s style Strat with a seafoam green body, but with a roasted maple neck, and it kind of has a little bit of that kind of Ibanez AZ quality about it. Definitely a very good fusion guitar. So the first thing we need to do, obviously, is talk about the specs of these guitars. So let's go to the spec talk now. So now it's time for the spec talk of these two Fender Stratocasters. So as I mentioned in the intro, these are brand new models. The main purpose of today's video is to show you kind of the diversity of guitars that you can get from the Fender Custom Shop. Yes, you can order Strats, but you can get many different kind of design choices. And really, we're kind of investigating what I would like to buy if I was getting something from the Fender Custom Shop. So obviously this is the kind of vintage style instrument. It's based off a 60s Stratocaster. It's a very nice kind of Dakota Red with the 3-ply guard with the minted out. It's relicked. It's got a rosewood fingerboard. It's definitely something that I would consider if I was going down the Strat route. You might know from previous videos, but I'm a massive fan of 60s Strats. I much prefer them to 50s style Strats, which is the other guitar that we're going to be getting onto in a little bit. But let's get the Floor Traveler and have a closer look at the specs. So when I say these guitars are brand new, they really are. This guitar was actually finished on the 11th of February of this year. So it's very fresh. They smell incredible, as all Fender Custom Shop instruments do. They also come in some really funky cases. This one has a black case with a red lining. But I have to say, Fender Custom Shop have really kind of upped their game with their cases, I have to say. But the full name of this guitar is the Limited 64 L Series Strat with a Journeyman relic. And the serial number is L11702, and it's a very nice guitar indeed. We're not going to go into too much detail with these guitars, as obviously they are Strats, and really these guitars speak for themselves. But this guitar is made out of alder. It's a 65 body shape. We have a 3-ply guide with the minted out look. We have the standard Fender tremolo. And for this guitar, we had the set of the Fat 64 pickups with the 5-way switch, 1 volume, 2 tones, and it's modern wiring, so the tone is connected to the bridge pickup. Our neck carve is a 63 style C, which is a very comfortable kind of slim shape for the 60s. We have clay dots on this example, which I love to see. We have the 6-in-line vintage tuners, and we have the cool kind of Fender logo there. Bone nut, string tree. It's a Stratocaster the way nature intended. In terms of spec era, this is actually the more modern one, obviously being 60s, and the other one is 50s. But in terms of design elements, it's a lot more vintage, so you don't have, you know, flamed maple. It's a very kind of bland-looking maple, which is what they kind of went for in the 60s. You have the rosewood fingerboard. You just have a block metallic color, which is obviously this beautiful Dakota Red. We do have a Journeyman relic, which is some dings to the finish, but it's mainly just a lacquer checking all over. It's a very comfortable finish to play, as it doesn't feel overly kind of exposed wood, but then you have this kind of slightly dull backed finish. And on this neck here, we've got a little bit of a sanded over area, as the nitro can be quite sticky, so it makes it quite easy to play when you have that slightly sanded out area. The body is quite sticky, but obviously that's not going to matter as you're not going to be moving your hand up and down it. But yeah, that's the Dakota Red 64 Stratocaster. Very nice indeed, and I have to say, it looks incredible in the room. So let's grab the 50s and see how that differs. So as you can see, this guitar looks a lot more modern. First off, it's a lot more sparkly. It is a kind of journeyman relic, but it's a lot less relic than the red one. This one also features a pretty awesome flamed maple neck, which is on a 50s profile, so it's a little bit thicker, and the hardware is a lot more new on this guitar. It looks like a modern guitar. And it really reminds me of the AZ Ibanez series, because you've got this kind of CFO green color, or Daphne blue, whatever it may be, this kind of very metallic blue color with a roasted maple neck, which is obviously a very kind of modern design choice, and it seems to be kind of the look that a lot of these kind of fusion guitar brands are going for. In terms of specs, it's very similar to the guitar that I just showed you. We have an older body, which is a 50s Strat shape, which is very similar. We have a one-ply guide as it is a 50s style guitar, and we have the fat 50s pickups in these ones instead of the fat 64s. We have a 5-way switch, 1 volume, 2 tones. Moving onto the neck, we have a slightly thicker neck, as in the 50s they were using a thicker neck. This isn't as thick as a typical 50s, it actually has quite a modern profile. This guitar has more of a soft V shape, which is a lot easier to play in comparison to a regular 50s neck. We also have jumbo frets on this one, so it's a very kind of modern spec guitar. We have the black indicator dots with the roasted maple, flamed maple neck. This is a custom feature I really like. Typically on a maple neck you'll see a walnut skunk stripe, but here they've just put a plain maple skunk stripe, which really kind of offsets that roasted maple nicely. And over here we have the same tuners that are on the other guitar, but these are actually completely clean. So these are the vintage style ones, but they're completely chromed up, no scratches. We then have the Fender logo, we've got the bone nut, and we've got the string tree. So very similar guitars, but this one is a lot cleaner and looks more modern, whereas the Dakota Red is a classic Stratocaster. So what we're going to be doing today is comparing the way that these guitars sound, but also what my preferences of each guitar are. Do I prefer a more vintage looking and sounding guitar, or do I prefer a more modern spec guitar with an easier neck shape, roasted maple materials, a guitar that's really trying to blur the lines of genres as it's a fusion guitar? Well, in today's video, we're going to find out. So let's go to the tone demonstration and find out. So guys, welcome to the tone demonstration of these two Fender Custom Shop Stratocasters. So for this comparison today, I'm using my 2-Rock Bloomfield Drive mic'd up with an Audio-Technica condenser microphone. On the floor, I'm running my Kemper effects from my Kemper Profiler. So it's a compressor, tube screamer, and a fuzz face, and maybe some tremolo effects later on. And then I'm running a reverb in the loop, which is the Flammer FSO2. That's for the more long, ethereal reverbs, and then the kind of shorter one is just the tank that's in the 2-Rock. In today's video, I did a cover of Electric Gypsy by Andy Timmons. It's a beautiful track in D major, using a lot of open notes. So I'll start by playing that again and doing some improvisation on both guitars so you can hear the tonal differences between the two. I'm on the neck pickup of this beautiful Dakota Red Strat, so let's hear it. Beautiful sounding neck pickup. Let's keep the same settings on, just so you know this is the lead channel of the Bloomfield Drive with quite a lot of gain on, and I've just got a compressor going into the front, and that is it. So I have the exact same control set up on the 2-Rock and on the guitar, so let's hear that neck pickup. So let's say the next position now, which is obviously the neck and the middle. Lovely sound. Let's say the middle position now. Next position now, we're in Mark Knopfler territory. It's a red Strat, so let's play some Dire Straits. I love that position. It just is so musical, especially when you play with the fingers. tone hack I always use for Stratocaster is I always try and keep the tone control around 6 on the bridge pickup. For me, the bridge is always too ice picky on a Strat, so I'm going to keep it at 6 for this bridge pickup just to give you kind of the best sound out of this guitar in my opinion. Still the same amp setting, but you can hear how much more distortion we're getting out. If I add a tube scream into that, we get even... So guys, that's the end of the tone demonstration. I hope you've enjoyed hearing both of these amazing guitars. Let's head to the end of the video where I give you my personal review and rating of both of these Stratocasters. So guys, it's the end of the video, so let's hear my personal review and rating of these two guitars. But before I do that, make sure to hit subscribe. It's completely free and really helps us increase engagement on these videos, which means bigger and better guitar videos for you. Also, make sure to leave a like rating if you've enjoyed and comment your thoughts about these Fender Stratocasters down below. So, which did I prefer? So, you guys might have known this by the way I looked when I was playing and maybe my playing style altogether when I was playing these guitars, but for me, the Dakota Red Strat was a better fitting guitar for me. Not only do I visually prefer it, but it also just sounded better in my opinion and was a lot easier to play. The 60s neck shape is a little bit thinner, and I prefer a rosewood fingerboard on a Strat always. Tonally speaking, it's a little bit more dull, whereas a maple neck is a lot brighter and a little bit ice picky for me. That's my main criticism of Strats. They're always very bright, so I like to kind of curtail that a little bit with a rosewood fingerboard. And for me, that's just the classic look of a Stratocaster. Perhaps it's because the artists that I really like listening to play 60s Strats, so therefore my playing style kind of replicates that a little bit. But for me, the 50s Strat felt a little bit plastic. It was kind of weird. The body was kind of like a Journeyman relic, but then the neck and the hardware had no wear on it at all, so it was a very kind of new looking guitar. I found it a little bit sticky to play on the neck. Also, the action was a little bit high, and for me, it just didn't feel as good as the 60s one. I think the pickups sounded just as good in my opinion. I think if you gave the guitar a setup, and if you were a fan of 50s guitars, so with the neck shape and the way that it looks, then this guitar would be perfect for you. But for me, the Dakota Red just edged it a little bit more. So I'm going to give the Dakota Red Strat an 8 out of 10, and I'm going to give the 50s guitar a 6 out of 10. But most importantly, guys, let me know in the comment section below, what do you think of these two Fender Stratocasters? Do you love them or do you hate them? And let me know if you own any Fender custom shop Strats. I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. But as always guys, thank you so much for checking into this video today. I really hope you've enjoyed this Squealing Pig Guitars episode. My name is Ben Keightley and I'll see you again very shortly for another video. But until then, that leaves me with one last thing to say. Keep rocking guys, I'll see you soon.